This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern reaffirms the patience narrative in her leader's speech. The Department of Conservation announces a $4.5 million pest eradication. And thousands of people enjoyed the Great Kiwi Home and Living Show over the weekend. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Melissa Barton. Be patient. That was the New Zealand Labour Party's message to members during its annual conference held in Dunedin over the weekend. It was a message Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern reaffirmed in her leader's speech yesterday. But hundreds missed out on hearing her speech when security concerns had the public restricted from several areas in the upper floors of the town hall.
Making her way through the admiring throng of supporters in Dunedin's town hall, Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern reflecting on her meteoric rise in the last year.
When I took over the leadership from Andrew at the beginning of August last year, the election was 7 weeks away. And I said at that time that we'd run the campaign of our lives, and we did.
She announced a $217 million increase in funding for special needs education.
Today I'm announcing that we'll be employing a new workforce of approximately 600 learning support coordinators to work alongside teachers across the entire country.
The money is set to be spent over 4 years on employing 600 learning support coordinators, taking the pressure off teachers.
This will be a game changer for those children. It will be a game changer for teachers who've been crying out for these roles so they're freed up to do what they do best, teach.
The coordinators will also liaise with parents.
These new roles will give parents a single point of contact with someone who understands the needs of their child and will advocate for them as they move through their entire time in school. Thank you.
It's been 30 years since Labour last held an annual conference in Dunedin. The 1988 event featured loud protests which echoed a bitter split within the party. Ardern described this year's conference as being more positive. In Dunedin for The South Today.
Both of the men killed while power diving in the Catlins last weekend have been farewelled in Balclutha over the last few days. 51-year-old Malcolm Ward was farewelled by mourners in his hometown on Saturday before a private cremation in Dunedin. In tribute to his passion for woodwork, a chainsaw adorned the coffin, while mourners scattered wood shavings from his father's workshop on his coffin. His friend, 23-year-old Mitchell McPhee, was farewelled earlier today. Around 500 mourners packed the town's South Otago Town and Country Club for a celebration of his life. Both men were power diving in the Catlins last weekend when they died in unexplained circumstances. Conservation Minister Eugenie Sage has announced the start of Te Manahuna Aoraki, a biodiversity project designed to protect endangered species in the Upper Mackenzie Basin and Aoraki Mount Cook National Park. It aims to cover 300,000 hectares if the initial 3-year phase of the project is deemed a success.
The 1,400 predator traps currently in the Mackenzie Basin and Aoraki Mount Cook National Park are set to increase to more than 3,500, more than doubling the coverage area. Dock Predator Control Ranger Glenn Currell says keeping traps functioning well makes up a big part of his day.
So just little things like, I always carry a scraper just to make sure that, critical sort of edges where things can jam are clear, and it just helps you clean out some of the mess.
More than 20 species will be protected as part of the project, including the world's rarest wading bird, the kaki or black stilt. Department of Conservation Project Manager Simone Cleland says it's an ongoing part of their long-term commitment to the area.
So DOC's been involved in the Mackenzie Basin for a really long time. From a kaki recovery point of view, we've been tracking in the Tasman since 2005. DOC's involvement in this company, we're a third part of the company.
The $4.5 million 3-year phase is being funded by the Department of Conservation, Next Foundation and other individuals and organisations. Cleland says the scheme's impact can't be underestimated.
This project is a really significant biodiversity project. It will protect alpine species such as Kea, rock wren and scree weta, and braided river species like kaki, wrybill, black-fronted tern, jewel gecko and robust grasshopper.
DOC says the captive breeding program helped 31 birds in 1991, and it's currently close to 200 birds being hand-reared and released into the wild. In the Mackenzie Basin, the South Today.
Thousands of people enjoyed everything from high-stakes culinary competitions to interior design inspiration at the Great Kiwi Home and Living Show over the weekend. The show is a partnership between Dunedin Venues Management Limited and the Otago Daily Times and attracted about 6,000 people to Forsyth Bar Stadium.
Dunedin Venues Chief Executive Terry Davies thrilled with the success of the Great Kiwi Home and Living Show. He says it's due to the introduction of cooking competitions, which saw many chefs as young as 6 years old to more seasoned cooks whipping up culinary delights. Cake baking judge Annabelle Langbine says competitors rose to the occasion.
These are aged 5 to 9-year-olds, and this isn't so much about eating the cake, it's about the decoration. And the theme is living in Otago, and it's all about the natural world. And you know, people look at this, it's so brilliant. Just the effort and thought that's gone into it, it's so fun.
The Farm to Fork Chef's Challenge saw all manner of beasts dissected, as other celebrity chefs took to the stage, offering insights into their backgrounds. Langbine on hand to give some budding chefs hands-on advice, including this woman who learned how to cook duck.
Annabelle taught me how to cook her duck. I'm not very good at cooking duck personally, and Annabelle's taught me a couple of times how to cook it today, so I'm sure I'll take away and learn from there.
Kiwi Kids Can Cook organiser Huey Blues says the southern leg of his national competition involved 9 local youngsters vying for a place in the finals in Auckland next year. The 2-day event at the stadium also featured many household items aimed at those wanting the best for their homes and gardens. Allied Press commercial manager Matthew Holdens says he's stoked the event has once again gone off with a bang. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today. Fire and Emergency New Zealand crews spend the weekend containing spot fires and monitoring the forest near Wanaka. And a special exhibition opens in Invercargill to honour Southlanders who fought and died in World War I.
It's that time of year, it's time to get into the garden and it's time to get your weed eater. Down here at the Power Garden Department at Andersons Bay Road, this year it's all about the cordless weed eater. Come down and see us at Mitre 10 Mega and we'll help you get it done right.
Electrify NZ Dunedin sell quality European designed e-bikes with reliable componentry so that you too can wear the e-bike grin. Call in for your complimentary test ride today or book online. Find us at 249 Cumberland Street, phone 021 035 9820.
Spring is here and it's time to get in the garden. Ready Lawn will take care of your lawn needs, making Lawn Care a snap. They will install the perfect lawn while you plant your favourite flowers and vegetables. Call Ready Lawn today so you can enjoy the coming season.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
It's always really satisfying when a customer comes back after doing a purchase of outdoor furniture and knowing that we've got it done right.
When it's time to say goodbye to your pet, Heaven Sent Pet Cremations are here to help you through this difficult experience. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today for their care and guidance. Phone 489 2274.
Step into Shop on Carol and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. We have new items arriving every day. Visit us for a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
At Green Island Medical Centre, we are committed in caring for our future and present generations. We know as a young person, coming to the doctors can be quite daunting. Our highly skilled doctors and nurses will make your experience one where you will leave with a smile. Your health is very important to us.
Welcome back. Cardrona Alpine Resort and Bungee pioneer Henry Van Ash were the big winners at Saturday's Queenstown Chamber of Commerce Westpac Business Excellent Awards. Cardrona won the Supreme Business of the Year Award and also the Large Business of the Year and Workplace Safety Awards. The judges said Cardrona stood out for its strength in all aspects of its business. AJ Hackett Bungee, New Zealand co-founder and managing director Mr Van Ash, won the Queenstown Chamber of Commerce Lifetime Achievement Award. Appropriately, the honour came just 9 days before the company celebrates its 30th birthday. A fire that engulfed about 5 hectares of pine forest southwest of Lake Hawea on Friday was finally declared out and all safe late yesterday morning. 4 Fire and Emergency New Zealand crews spent the weekend containing spot fires and monitoring the forest on the slopes of Mount Maud near Wanaka. The massive blaze is believed to have been started by the roadside near Capel Avenue, the turnoff into Lake Hawea near State Highway 6. An investigation into the cause is ongoing, but a FENZ spokesman says the fire is believed to have been started by fireworks. FENZ is requesting any photographs or video of the fire in its early stages be emailed to them. A special exhibition to honour Southlanders who fought and died in World War I has opened in Invercargill. The City Council, together with the likes of Southland Museum and Art Gallery, have collaborated to create the multifaceted exhibition.
I declare this pop-up museum commemorating World War I open.
Invercargill Mayor Tim Shadbolt given the job of formally opening a new exhibition honouring Southlanders who fought and died during World War I.
It's a small display. We're very grateful to have the use of this building, and it's come together, I think, brilliantly.
Part of the exhibition's made up of stories of Southland men killed in the liberation of Le Quesnoy in 1918, as well as the Invercargill Borough Council employees killed over the 4 years of fighting.
We've got a map that shows the loss of life by Invercargill streets. So of course Invercargill 1914 to 1918 was a smaller city. South Invercargill and Waikiwi then were both separate boroughs with their own mayor and councils, but it does show the streets of the time and the loss of life throughout the 1914-18 Great War.
More than 100 poppies have been knitted by council staff, family and friends, and the exhibition also shows how far communication has come in the last century.
There was a lot of laying of telephone cable, there was the use of dogs and homing pigeons, and for young people today the idea of those communications in a modern war seems so different.
The exhibition runs till the 10th of November in the former ASB Bank building in Invercargill, the South Today.
After the break on the South Today, Cowboys sling their guns and put on their Stetsons for the National Cowboy Championships in Ashburton. And we check out the North Otago Cricket Association new home after years of waiting, so stay with us.
Every Kiwi deserves a reliable garage door. Rely on Garador to protect your important stuff. Just like Darren. His Garador keeps his favourite ride in mint condition. We have a huge range at affordable prices. Visit our website for a free consultation. We stand behind every door.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Helping New Zealanders to do more. Talk to MTF today.
Active Interior Designer Mornington are the curtain and blind experts. The team can even advise you on outdoor products and will ensure that everything is perfect. For interior design with flair, call Active to book your free in-home consultation or call into the showroom in Mornington.
At Green Island Medical Centre, we are committed in caring for our future and present generations. We know as a young person, coming to the doctors can be quite daunting. Our highly skilled doctors and nurses will make your experience one where you will leave with a smile. Your health is very important to us.
Hello, it's Jeremy down here at Mighty 10 Nega in Andersons Bay. We've got 35 different lawnmowers down in our power garden department. We've got ride-on mowers, petrol mowers, battery operated mowers, push mowers. Did you know we've even got a robot, a little robot lawnmower that pops out during the day when you're at work or play. It'll pop out and mow your lawn. So come down and see me, Jeremy, down in the power garden department at Mighty 10 Nega in Andersons Bay Road, where we'll help you get it done right first time.
For more than 50 years, Roslyn Mowers and Heating have been selling and servicing quality lawn mowers and outdoor power equipment. Bring your mower, chainsaw, garden equipment in for repair or service and you go in the draw to win a Husqvarna petrol line trimmer. See you in store soon.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. We have new items arriving every day. Visit us for a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
I just like it. It's something that you can see the fruits of your own labour. You put it right now, you don't have as much to do at Christmas. If you come see me, Derek, in the garden department, and then we get it done right.
Motor Trade Finance proudly brings you Rural Delivery. A look at the places and faces behind New Zealand agriculture. Tuesday evenings 8:30, repeating Saturday morning at 8 and Sunday afternoons 4:30.
Thanks for staying with us. Around 70 cowboys gathered in Ashburton over the weekend for the National Cowboy Championships. Some of the country's best gunslingers, all dressed in Western garb, tested their speed and accuracy over several days of competitions. After more than a century, the North Otago Cricket Association finally has a home it can call its own. Construction of the association's $360,000 two-storey pavilion at Centennial Park started several months ago and is close to completion.
With only minor work to be finished off, North Otago Cricket finally has a pavilion to call their own after more than 100 years.
North Otago Cricket Association has been around for 119 years, so it's taken that long to have our own permanent home.
The ground floor of the $360,000 pavilion will mainly be used for storage and shelter, while scorers and team management staff will be based in the upper level on match days.
It took a long time to get there, and the length of time it took to go from getting their plans drawn and getting into the period of tendering. There was a major jump in cost, but we've managed to get all that sorted out.
The building's been named the Payne Pavilion after long-serving groundsman Russell Payne.
It's an opportunity to give recognition to Russell Payne, who for about 40 years has been a volunteer groundsman at Centennial Park, Waitaki Boys High School and the Union Cricket Club.
And although the facility had a test run with an under-17 tournament recently, its first real showing will be when Otago A host Canterbury A in a 3-day fixture next week in Oamaru, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern reaffirms the patience narrative in her leader's speech at the party's annual conference in Dunedin. The Department of Conservation announces a $4.5 million pest eradication scheme for Mackenzie Country and Aorangi, Mount Cook. And thousands of people enjoyed everything from high-stakes culinary competitions to interior design inspiration at the Great Kiwi Home and Living Show over the weekend. And now look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Barry Stewart. What have you got
Hello,
for
Melissa.
us in tomorrow's
Well, the
paper?
big event tomorrow, of course, is the Melbourne Cup.
I know.
At Wingatui and Melbourne, apparently it stops the nation, perhaps two nations. So we're having a look at who shot the barman. That's the Otago bred horse who's in the field for the Melbourne Cup. So we talked to the breeder of that fine horse. And we also have a few tips for race day. So have a look for that. Might give you a
I'd love a couple
winning,
of tips.
well, they're there. You take them, take it or leave it. Dunedin Rest Home is up in arms after needless vandalism of their war memorial. Now, the memorial was actually just built by the Otago Polytech and given to the rest home just quite recently, and now it's been vandalised. So obviously they are upset about that. The government's plan to introduce 600 new workers into to help special needs pupils has drawn mixed reviews from Southern principals. We have a look at that story. And university celebrations, of course, a picnic, a regatta, concerts, parades, a rugby match, a dinner and a ball. A colourful calendar of events is being planned for the University of Otago's 150th anniversary celebrations next year. So plenty happening at the university. A $1.17 million grant from Central Lakes Trust will buy the Lakes District Hospital a new CT scanner, the first one they've had, so that's great news for them.
That's fantastic.
And a big reader from Kavanagh College is thrilled to come second in the National Spelling Bee competition, so a fair effort there.
They're incredibly competitive, those spelling bees.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wonderful, thanks. And you can catch all of that in tomorrow's ODT. And now it's time for a look at tomorrow's weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Tonight's southern view is of white crosses at Dunedin's Queen's Garden. Looking at the situation, some warm days coming up this week as northwesterly airflow directs air from Queensland onto Otago and Southland. But that warm air will release its moisture on Thursday in the form of heavy rain. Starting off at the northwest of the South Island, Greymouth and Westport can expect a few clouds and a high of 18 degrees. Across to the northeast, Nelson is fine with a warm high of 22 and Blenheim is also cloud-free and 23 degrees. And to Canterbury, a fine day for Kaikoura with a high of 18 degrees. Christchurch is identical and Ashburton is also fine but warmer on 20 degrees. Looking at the southern towns, Catlins, Balclutha, Gore and Lumsden are in for moderate northerlies, clear skies and 18-degree highs for you all. Heading westwards to the Central Lakes area, expect moderate northerlies, fine and highs of 22 in Wanaka and Alexandra, slightly cooler on 21 in Queenstown. In Tiana, your northwesterlies are the strongest and cloud increases while you only manage 17 degrees. Looking at the northern towns, Timaru and Oamaru can expect moderate northeasterlies, fine weather and a high of 19 for Oamaru and Timaru, while Amarama and Twizel should expect moderate northerlies, fine and a high of 21 to 22 degrees. And in Dunedin, fine tonight with an overnight low of 9 degrees, sunny and mild tomorrow with moderate northeasterlies, a high of 17 and a mild low of 12. High cloud increasing and lowering on Wednesday, with warm temperatures and moderate northerlies, rain developing at night. Expect a high of 23 degrees and a low of 15. And in Invercargill, fine tonight with a low of 8. Sunny periods and some high cloud tomorrow with moderate northerly winds and milder temperatures, a high of 18 and a low of 12. Warm northwesterlies freshening on Wednesday with cloud increasing and rain developing late in the day. Looking at a high of 20 degrees and a low of 13. That wraps up our news for this Monday. For the latest news from the Southern region, head online and follow us on Facebook, YouTube and at channel39.co.nz, as well as odt.co.nz. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.